My name is Haile Watson, and I grew up in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. I now live in Spokane, Washington. I was born in Argentina, and I grew up in a biracial family. My parents always prioritized education, and I think that knowing that I was a great volleyball player, that I could pursue a scholarship, and I think that was really important to me. Also, just playing on a team was also very important. I always prioritized sports as well because I knew that was a real opportunity to pursue higher education. Once I got to high school, I experienced a lot of challenges that made it very difficult to play on a team and do really well in school. And that was primarily due to being a minority in a predominantly white school. So I experienced a lot of microaggressions, a lot of stereotypes, some egregious incidents, a student calling me the N-word from across the school, screaming at me in front of 50 plus students. She would do that quite repeatedly in classrooms. And I think that it made it difficult to go to school, to focus in the classroom, to walk the halls and not wonder like who heard that, who else is gonna think that's okay to address me by that as well. But I think that just being a minority, that was an opportunity for others to attack. I think the most hurtful thing was before a game, one of my teammates broke the huddle saying, white power. And I just didn't know how to react to that. I felt betrayed because I felt like that was a friend, that was a teammate, and like, why would she say something like that? And me being the only Black female on the team across both sides, I was obviously felt like that was directed towards me. In volleyball, communication is so key. I kind of felt like I shut down and I stopped communicating at all. High school was certainly the loneliest I've ever felt in my life. I self-isolated myself. I wanted to quit the team so bad, and I kept telling myself, like, you just get through it, I was offered a full scholarship at Fresno State, and I automatically feel I feel welcomed, I feel like I belong, and I think that was the first time in a really, really long time being in an environment where I felt like I could be successful. That was a weird feeling if you haven't had that before. I was able to trust my teammates and trust my coaches. Those relationships, became great because we had a culture that allowed that. I don't think that, you have to agree on everything. I think that conflict is good, and having different perspectives is important. And that's ultimately what makes a team great, because we had that respect. I could say, hey, I don't necessarily agree with you on this, but I still respect you as a person. And I still see you, I still hear you. When I got to Fresno, I felt like I had been searching for an environment or a team and a culture like that for most of my life. And so when I did experience that belonging and a really great culture, I was just extremely grateful. Because I was so grateful, I felt like I made the most out of every opportunity that was given to me there. I think that led me to being very successful as both like a student and an athlete. That culture extended beyond athletics, so it extended into the classroom, it extended into the community. And I think that's really a gift when someone feels like they can be authentic and present authentically to people. I think that's like a gift and an honor. In every space that I'm in, I try to make people feel like they can be themselves. And so I really think that is important, that we do create spaces for people to feel safe and feel like they do have that sense of belonging. I just want you to know that even though right now, if you don't feel like you have a place where you belong, you will eventually find that. For me, that was in college, but for you, that could be right now. There are people that will love you that you haven't met yet, and there are places where you will belong that you haven't found yet.